I heard that Road Trip Lightning McQueen would be getting an expression variant in 2023, I was pretty excited. I was a little disappointed at first, as we've gotten a lot of merchandise of just regular Road Trip McQueen when there are a lot of other McQueens we could be getting instead. He has this regular single from last year, and then he got 3 color changers. So to see another regular Road Trip McQueen diecast, when again, McQueen has a different look in basically every episode, was certainly a little disappointing. I was made a little more disappointed when I first saw his facial expression, which isn't really all that different from regular old Road Trip McQueen. Mater, the Road Trip Mater, which I reviewed yesterday, has a wildly different expression. It's significantly different from other Maters. He even uses a different mold. But this McQueen, I mean, he technically has a different mold because he has a different mouth, but like, you still had to make him smile. Like, you could have done something a little more with this McQueen, I feel. But still, at the end of the day, I'm glad this diecast exists because, like I said in my review of the Mater yesterday, I absolutely love it when we get expression variants. It's not that common, but it's so nice to get an alternative. Even if it is 2 types of smiles, they're different kinds of smiles. This is an energetic smile, and this is kind of a nervous smile, which I think really perfectly encapsulates McQueen in Cars on the Road. Honestly, I kind of wish that we just got this Road Trip McQueen from the start, and maybe we didn't get this one. This one reuses the same face as Cars 3 McQueen, which I know bothered a lot of people, while meanwhile this one has a new expression. It's weird because they're still selling both of these, I believe, in the same case. It's going to be interesting to see if they continue to use both of these, or if they eventually phase this one out with this one. I don't know, but it's nice that we have alternatives, right? It doesn't happen too often in the diecast line. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2023 Road Trip Lightning McQueen expression variant. So let's get started. He has a different artwork here compared to the normal Road Trip McQueen, which is cool to see that they gave him a separate artwork. Of course, the first thing we saw of this diecast was its artwork, so I assumed it was going to be looking off to the side. It's not. Kind of weird to have this be an expression variant and then not really have the expressions match. The expression of the diecast doesn't typically match the expression of the artwork, but here, I don't know, like, they deliberately chose different artwork for this McQueen, so I thought maybe they would match a little better. We've got new for 2023. On the back, we've got Gearston Marshall, Greebles, Royce Revsley, Griswold, Speed Demon, and that is supposed to represent the new Mater, I believe, although he isn't raised up. He does have a different expression than your traditional Mater. So here is this McQueen out of the package. Sorry if there was a bit of an awkward cut there. I ran out of storage, but it's all good. We cleared some space up. And the first thing I noticed about this guy is he actually has a different mold. Much like the Mater, this McQueen has a different mold. He's definitely thinner. Definitely thinner than Cars 3 McQueen. He's also a bit longer, but only really in the bumper area, although I think the spoiler's at a bit of a different angle. He's just slightly differently shaped. It's very interesting that instead of just taking this mold and giving it a different mouth, like they do all the time on Cars diecasts, they specially molded this McQueen for this unique face, which is definitely interesting, much like what they did with Mater. Although I will say, I don't feel McQueen is animated as cartoonishly as Mater. With Mater, it makes more sense, and him being propped up as a thing, he actually does. Here, the bumper sticking out more, with McQueen making a different face, does sort of make sense. The bumpers are mouths, right? And when we speak, we, as human beings, speak, of course, our mouths are going to sort of move in and out and obviously make different shapes as you say different words, but is changing the shape of McQueen's entire body kind of overkill? Yeah, I think so. I don't really mind, but it is interesting that it is slightly different, and again, I wonder what people who, you know, a lot of people don't really like the Cars 3 McQueen mold due to it not being as supposedly accurate, so I wonder what they'll have to say about this one. Probably not anything too nice, because he's even thinner. But yeah, very interesting shaping going on there, just especially in that bumper area. Sort of a different shape to accommodate for this different mouth expression, as I said. And it is a very interesting mouth expression. Like I said earlier, it's kind of a nervous grin, which is very in character for McQueen and On the Road. His whole character throughout the entire show is just kind of like, gee, Mater, I don't want to do this. I'm a little nervous, McQueen, now. Not knocking against On the Road, but like every episode, the setup is Mater's like, let's do something fun, and McQueen is like, no, Mater, that's dangerous. So giving him this nervous grin does kind of work, just like how giving Mater an overexcited expression on his variant also works. Got all the decals you'd expect for an on-the-road McQueen, which is not very many decals, of course. We've got the Lightyear logos on the side. Nice to see he's still repping Lightyear tires. A nice fading design on the 95. Not much on the back other than that poor, lonely 95. Very small. Looks like mine's got a little paint blemish, but that's alright. Oh, this one has a paint blemish too. Okay. I guess all my McQueens have paint blemishes on their back bumpers. That's perfectly fine. Probably the best place to get a blemish on the diecast, right? The part that nobody's going to see. There's a look at the other side, and finally, there's a look at the base, and yes, it does feature those little indents for Mater to tow him, and yeah, just comparing the bases of these two, you can definitely see this one is a bit thinner in some places, and again, this has sort of a differently shaped bumper, just to accommodate that different smile. They sort of molded in dimples. It's a very nicely molded mouth, honestly. Much better than this, but yeah, certainly an interesting McQueen. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this review. Definitely let me know what you think about this McQueen. Do you prefer it over this one? What do you think of this having a different mold? I'm sure this one's going to spark quite a bit of conversation if it hasn't already within the cars community. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.